Paramus, New Jersey, home of the Frisch Cougars throughout the year. However, today it becomes a host site for the MYHSAL Junior Varsity and Varsity Hockey Championships as we get set to bring you all of the action here on the Yeshiva Sports Network. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Josh Cass alongside Matthew Lauren, and we have a pair of championship matchups that we are getting ready to bring you. First, starting out about 1:30, the TABC Storm will take on the DRS Wildcats on the varsity level, and following it at 5:30 will be the Junior Varsity Championship game between the DRS Wildcats and the SAR Sting. Starting off with varsity, though, we have TABC and DRS in front of us. Matthew, welcome to the broadcast. First time that we're having you on the Yeshiva Sports Network for a championship game. I want to ask you a couple questions before we get to the breakdown.
Yeah.
So, what does it mean to both of these teams to be here today in this championship game setting?
First off, Josh, happy to be here. Thank you for all that you're doing for the sport of hockey. I think that it's a much bigger stage than the JV stage. I mean, this is probably the biggest game that most of these guys are going to be playing in their lives. And this is it. Comes down to one game. They have one shot, one opportunity to just make it happen.
Here we are 2 years later in the same place with the same prize on the line. And it's these same two teams just on the varsity level as opposed to JV where they were 2 years ago. That year, the Wildcats defeated the Storm 2-1 in the JV championship. And now they're about to throw down again on the varsity level. What do you think has to be going through the minds of all of these players?
I think that, once again, the biggest game in their lives, their hockey careers. I think that, again, championship mentality, all or nothing. They're going to give it their all tonight. And they just are going to give 110% for all 36 minutes of today's game.
Lastly, these two teams met during the regular season in DRS on January 3rd. The result of that game was a 5-0 victory for DRS. Now TABC comes into this game knowing they've lost to DRS 2 years ago in the championship when these two teams faced off in the JV finals, and they lost to DRS earlier in the year in DRS. How do they go about this game and try to push it all aside? Or better yet, do they use it as fuel to try to channel, a greater urge possibly to want to win this game?
I think that TABC is coming in with a chip on their shoulder. They're going to try to use this year's loss, which was their worst game in the season by a large margin, as motivation and fuel to come back, get revenge on them. And I think that they'll just try to do everything that they can to penetrate TABC's defensive scheme, DRS's defensive scheme. And I think that, they're going to use it as fuel. They're going to use it as motivation to come out firing on all cylinders.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the road to the championship for both of these teams. So we'll start off with DRS as they are the favorite in this game. DRS during the regular season went 13-1. Their only blemish was a 2-1 loss to the Hafter Hawks. Other than that, they have been dominant pretty much all season long. In the quarterfinals, they cruised past Rambam, beating them 7-1. And they had a thrilling down-to-the-wire semifinal game against Frisch, but still managed to prevail by a score of 2-1. As for TABC, the Storm went 12-2 during the regular season, and their only two losses came on the road here in Frisch and at DRS. In the quarterfinals, they got their revenge against SAR from last season, defeating them 5-2. After that, they faced the Hank Hurricanes in a semifinal game and prevailed 7-1 in order to advance. Now, overall, just when you hear about the road to the championship for both of these teams and you've looked at the scores and the games they've played, who do you think, just based on their road to the playoffs, has the advantage coming into this game being more prepared?
I think DRS has the advantage here, Josh. I think that DRS has had the harder road to the finals, especially after their semifinal matchup versus Frisch, in which they were really outplayed for most of the game. Daniel Austin really kept them in the game. Plays big, but very athletic, and has a great glove. But I think that DRS has been more challenged, and I think that TABC really, I mean, they won 5-2 and 7-1, and in the Hank game in the semis, they were up 5-0 after the first period. So for DRS, I think DRS is more prepared just based off of sheer competition.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the matchup for these two teams now. So we'll start off with DRS. DRS has a very deep team, and they are known for using their speed as well as their bodies. Now, there still is skill in their lineup, and you can't sleep on it. However, this isn't a team that's known for making super flashy skill plays. They keep it very simple. On offense, they've rotated pretty much 4 lines all season long consistently, and in addition to that, it's more than they've rotated 4 lines consistently. It's they can switch them up because every single player can play with every single player in their offense amongst the 4 lines that they roll. So it's going to be very interesting to see how their coach, Larry Groats, decides to allocate the time to the lines in this game. However, where you really need to focus on this team is attacking their defense because they are the best defensive team in the league. They have the deepest defense in the league. They have consistently been able to rotate anywhere from 6 to 7 defensemen comfortably all season long. All of them play the same way, very similar to their forwards, except on the defensive side of things. And that's what the key for DRS is going to be in order for them to win this game. They play suffocating defense, their forwards get involved too, and on top of that, it's more than just the defense, which has helped them be a strong defensive team, but also the goaltending, because Daniel Austin 2 years ago won the championship MVP against this same TABC team. He has been excellent for the Wildcats all season long, and DRS gave up the least goals of any team during the regular season and the playoffs combined. They have given up the least goals of any team in the playoffs, more specifically, even including the teams that were eliminated after 1, 2, or even 3 games, depending on if they played a wild card game. So considering that they're about to play their 3rd playoff game, and if you take a team, for example, like Frisch, who played 2 games in the playoffs, or if you take a team like TABC, who's also played 2 games in the playoffs already, this is about to be their 3rd, and they've given up the least goals, all season long and combined. I think that it really just shows something about this team and how they can defend, and it's really their bread and butter, how they lock teams down, and really what we're going to expect to see from them in this game.
Yeah, I mean, DRS has given up 2 goals all playoffs, and even though TABC is a team known for their offensive firepower, DRS will try to shut them down, give it their all, and they will just try and suffocate you.
All right, so now let's talk about TABC. Similar to DRS, very deep team. They also roll 3 lines consistently on offense, and they rotate anywhere from about 4 to 6 defensemen as well. They are loaded with talent everywhere. I would say that between these two teams, they are probably the more individually talented team in terms of their individual players. They have the best, or 4 of the best individual forwards in the league, them being in Shea Fields, Matas Kraus, Ben-Sion Kaiser, and Aiden Rausman. While they're known more for their offense, though, they do still have guys who can wow you on defense like Aryeh Simon, Jonathan Brothman, Ethan Moskoff, and comeback player for them, Max Borger. And finally, in net, they have a tandem of Amichai Dresner and Shai Forgash. Now, let it be known that while these teams met early on in the season, it was Dresner who got the start for TABC. This time around, we're actually going to see Shai Forgash, who has been the starter for TABC since the playoffs began. The reason being because Dresner has been still been playing, but has not played in the game. He's been injured since the beginning of the postseason. And while Forgash hasn't done the bulk of the work during the regular season, he did it all of last season, and he's also done it for the TABC Storm at the most important time of the year this season. It's definitely worth noting that he has 2 career starts against DRS, and he's 2-0 with 2 total goals given up. And even though the average and the math turns out to be 1 goal a game, that's exactly how it's been split. It wasn't 2 goals in one game and a shutout in the other. And it's worth noting that within one of those 2 games, he won a championship and also a championship MVP award as well. So this is not exactly unfamiliar territory for him.
I mean, if I'm Mo Fuchs, I'm riding the hot hand right now, and that has been Shai Forgash. Shai Forgash has shown his poise, has a very good record against DRS, and again, he's very quick, has a great glove, plays very well, and again, unfortunately for Amichai Dresner, I mean, it sucks to be a senior year or to be a senior and to be overtaken as the starter this late into the season. But if I'm Mo Fuchs, I'm riding the hot hand, and it should be exciting to see how Shia Forgash plays today.
You know, this is not the first time that we are seeing a goaltender lose that starting job between a senior and a junior, and having a senior lose it to a junior on the varsity level. In 2018-19, so the 2017-18, in the 2018 postseason, the Frisch Cougars played against the SAR Sting, and what happened was the Frisch Cougars had a goaltender by the name of Charlie Freilish, who was playing as a senior and was the lead goalie for the team, but later on in the year did not end up playing as well, and Jaak Lisker, their head coach, decided to go with junior Isaac Markovitz, who got hot at the right time and ended up taking them to the championship. Do you see any reminiscence between this TABC Storm case and that Frisch Cougar case?
I think yes. I think that at the end of the day, both Frisch that year and TABC now, they had, again, it was the right goalie. It was a goalie getting hot at the right time, and both Jaak Lisker and Mo Fuchs have decided to go with the hot hand, and I think that it was unfortunate for Freilich back then, and it's unfortunate for Dresner right now, but TABC, but I'm sure Mo Fuchs is confident with his decision, and I think that, in my opinion, it's 100% the right decision coming from a goalie. And I mean, yeah, I don't see much difference between the two of them. But yeah.
Well, overall, it looks like we're going to be set for a very good game. Just also to bring a little bit of history into this overall matchup between these two schools, this is not the first time that they will be meeting in the varsity championship, but it is the first time in a while that they will have been. The last time the TABC Storm were in the varsity championship, it was the 2022 postseason. The last time they won a championship, it was the 2016 postseason. The last time the DRS Wildcats were in a varsity championship was the 2020 season that COVID had cut short, so they were crowned co-champions with Ramaz. But if you want to go back farther to the last championship that actually got played, that they were in, they lost against the Cougars, against Frisch in 2019. That game going into overtime, Elliot Eisner had the game winner. We talked about that a couple of years ago when Frisch played TABC in the varsity championship, talking about how the last time both teams were there in a varsity championship, they had won. Frisch in 2019, TABC, it was their first time on the varsity championship level since 2016. However, this year is going to be their next opportunity to win. And the last time that DRS won a championship, as I was saying before, other than 2020, you have to go back to 2017, so just a couple years prior, when one of their current coaches, Andrew Giller, was a senior and the captain of that DRS team. Weren't planning to talk about it, at least, but now that the point has been brought up, do you think that gives, any sort of, not necessarily the reminiscence, but how much do you think that adds to this setting right here? The last game he played in high school was a championship game, and here he is on the varsity level for the first time in the championship as a coach, or at least actually getting to play it out.
I think that Andrew Giller, having him as great, he knows exactly what the stage is as a player. He's been on this stage before, and to have him as an assistant coach, I think is very good for these DRS kids who, he's a guy that can talk them through what this means, knows very well, and a guy that really hasn't, he's not that old. He only graduated 7 years ago, and to have him as your assistant, I think is a very nice bonus for this DRS Wildcats team.
All right, let's talk about real quick before we close it out, because pregame intros are coming up in just under 5 minutes. I don't know if it's very clear on the camera for the side that we're standing on here. We are on the TABC side of things, or at least by the TABC parent side of things. How big of an impact do the crowds play in a setting like today?
I think that the louder the crowds are, the more into it the players get. I think the crowd is definitely motivation. I think that both sides are going to be loud. They're going to be raucous. And I think that it definitely adds fuel and motivation into these players.
Well, it's definitely going to be something very interesting to look out for in this game. Both of these teams, both of these schools are known for bringing out big crowds, especially in games like this. And it's not the first time that these two teams, specifically these sets of players, will be meeting each other, not just this season and not just in previous seasons, but especially in a championship as a whole. 2 years ago, these two exact teams met, and it was DRS who took the 2-1 victory over the Storm in the championship in this exact location here in Frisch. I know that we touched a little bit about it on the TABC side of things, but if you're DRS now, how do you use that to your advantage rather than, we talked about TABC, how they can use that as motivation, as urge to want to win this game. The taste of defeat is in their mouth, and it's all there. But what do we think for DRS in this case?
I think that DRS, they beat this team twice. They beat this team in the championship 2 years ago, just on the JV stage, and they beat them 5-0 earlier in the year. So DRS knows that they can outplay them, but DRS can't get too overconfident. They still have to be smart. They still have to play tight defense, and they cannot get overconfident, or else TABC will capitalize off them, especially with how potent and lethal their offensive attack is.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting, and just the same way, we talk about DRS and TABC can use them to their advantages. There's also going to be the experience factor, not just as a championship in a whole, but both of these teams in this gym especially are not exactly inexperienced. Both teams have seen this floor at least once. So, do we really think there's going to be the factor potentially of inexperience on this floor?
I don't think so. This gym plays a lot more similar to DRS's than TABC's, but TABC is very much used to this gym, having played in this gym so many times over the years, that I don't think that the gym itself will pose a problem to either team.
We can see the DRS faithful already getting fired up for this game, supporting their varsity hockey team, while TABC seems to be a bit quiet. We know that is definitely going to change. Separate question, I guess, before we decide to close this out as the clock was readjusted. It comes down to one of the following, which is that when you think of these two teams, it's always been the same narrative. It's always about the hustle. It's always about the heart. You will always see a fight down to the wire until the very end from both of these teams. How is it knowing, just overall, forget about your past experience, whether it be with a specific group of or core of players, how is it knowing specifically just the mentality is just the same on the other side, and because it's the same on the other side, how can you combat that?
To combat that mentality, I think that both teams just need to bring their A game, plain and simple. Don't try and be too fine. Don't try to overdo things. You can't overthink it. Just play the game.
Sorry if we cut out for a second there. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very interesting game. It's going to be a very fun game. We are just under 3 minutes away from the pregame introductions, which will be coming your way very shortly. Let's all see where this goes. Well, other than that, it looks like we're set up for an incredible matchup.
We really are.
Yeah, it really does. And between these two teams. Again, it is not the first time that we are going to see this. This is the fourth time that TABC and DRS are meeting each other in the Varsity Hockey Championship, with TABC having a slight edge over the Wildcats in the head-to-head scoring by a score of 2-1. Will TABC be walking away with 3 out of 4 total championship matchup wins in the varsity finals against DRS, or are the Wildcats about to break the storm surge? Find out. It's TABC versus DRS in the Varsity Hockey Championship. It's all coming your way here on the Yeshiva Sports Network. We will be right back.
Just gonna run to the back.
I just want to, like, my plan is, that's an open mic, fine. So, Matt and I are probably going to stand here. We might need to stand back where we were, because if we're standing here, we're blocking the camera. Yeah. I think last year it was higher up, because I know Elliot and Cole was still there. I mean, last year the view was fine. Okay.
Do I try to stand a step up?
You can stand a step up. I'm probably going to say, because that's what I care more about. Yeah, you did. Which is a good thing, considering we need to adjust now. So. But it's really just about that. Okay, I'm going to fix my view. as we are back here live at Frisch. We're going to send you live to the player introductions for TABC and DRS by Commissioner Seth Gordon.
Are we on right now, like in terms of mics? Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. Nice catch!
The DRS Wildcats have elected to come out as a team. We ask for everyone's silence. Guys, we're going to say something other round before we start. Right after the event, we're going to have Ohio Lights address us. There's been tables set up outside to support the organizations, both the Bergen County and the 5 pounds, who are contending packages, double backs, all sorts of things here for the last 6 months. Ohio is going to address us after the event. And after Ohio addresses us, we're going to play the national anthem. So we ask everyone please to stand in silence as we have in mind all of our brothers and sisters in Israel, the soldiers who are protecting us, and the hostages who need to be brought home as soon as possible. Kirim Chas
Hi everyone, I'm here representing the Israel Asset Center, the Lev Echad, and Youths for Israel. Woohoo! So since this war started, all three organizations have been sending hundreds, literally approximately 100 duffel bags each per week to Israel. Full of different things. Youths for Israel is sending boots, Israel Asset Center is sending tactical gear, and the Lev Echad is sending, work things and different clothing items. And together, we're all working together to raise some money for funds, as well as we have a WhatsApp chat specifically for high school students to start getting involved in volunteer activities. So if you come, you have a booth set up outside, please come and buy a raffle ticket. It's $5 for one, $20 for 5 tickets. And at intermission, if you buy a raffle ticket, we're gonna pick out a winner and you'll have a chance to shoot at one of the nets and win a prize. So please represent us and, do whatever you can to help the organizations. Thank you.
Silence as we play the national anthem.
And we are back here in the booth at Frisch, awaiting the start of this varsity hockey championship between the DRS Wildcats and the TABC Storm. Again, rematch of last year's JV championship And now both crowds are getting into it, at least on the student body side of things. As both teams are huddling up for the last time before this game starts. Matthew, if you're in these huddles right now, what's going through your head? What do you think is being said between both of these teams right now?
I think that both teams are just captains on both teams are just hyping them up. They're telling the guys that this is their shot. It all comes down to this, and I think that it's just a matter of just really trying to hype up the guys.
It's going to be a very exciting game. It was marked down as one of the possibilities as a predicted championship at the start of the year, especially with what happened 2 years ago with these two teams appearing in the big game. And now, here we are 2 years later, as we have spoken before, as we have both teams being asked by the referees to step out of their huddles. Our referees today are Noah Minsler and Keith Ryan for the varsity game. Not sure who we'll have around in JV. And we are ready to go. You can see that both teams are really excited. DRS and TABC both bring lots of energy here, and that's the way it needs to be, at least in my opinion, whenever you get to a championship game.
It just really needs, there's no question that these two guys are hype, but they've got to show it out on the court for the first few minutes of this game.
Well, it was DRS who got off to a quick start against TABC in the game they played earlier on in the year in DRS. They scored 1-0 a couple seconds into the game as both teams sending out their starting lines. For DRS, we will see Jack Greenbaum and Moshe Aryeh, who were the two players that combined for the 2 goals against Frisch in the semis in the 2-1 victory. And on defense, we have Nathaniel Lawrence along with Jake Frankel. On TABC, an entirely junior line. Aiden Rausman, Ben-Sion Kaiser, along with Jonathan Brothman, Aryeh Simon, Daniel Austin, and Shia Forgash in the cages for both teams as we are ready to go here. DRS against TABC, balls dropped, and we are underway. Into the corner, Brothman will hand it down. Rausman could not clear, good keep by Frankel. The backhand on goal, Forgash paddles it aside. Aryeh looking to control, back to the point. Kaiser stepped in front, Forgash quick to play it with his glove across his body, but he's able to cover and get the whistle. Well, Forgash already crossing over his glove and blocker. Matt, as a goalie, how do you get that out of your head?
I mean, it's entirely a mental game. As a goalie, 90% of the work is done before the shot, and if you overthink, you're gonna screw up. Just play the game. If I'm Forgash, I'm just playing. I'm not thinking.
Lawrence with a shot that bounced up high as Forgash tried to glove it down, couldn't get it. Greenbaum looking to turn and shoot, couldn't get control as the ball cleared out. Rausman hustling down there with Lawrence trying to win the race. He does and clears. It got over the stick of Brothman into the corner. Aryeh with forecheck pressure there as the dump behind the goal off the wall straight. Kaiser wins the race. Rausman shoots and he's blocked as he got hit a little bit there by Jack Greenbaum. Kaiser and
good work
Rausman.
By Kaiser and Rausman.
Kaiser and Rausman walking. Good keep there by Aryeh Simon. Here's Jack Greenbaum showing off the wheels, and he bodies down Aryeh Simon in the corner. Now Ben Ritter fresh off the bench, fresh in to help as the board comes off, and we will get a stoppage in play. Aryeh Simon got knocked down in front of the boards. However, the ball left play, and there was the reason for the stoppage. As we have Ritter and Pokris on now for the DRS Wildcats. Micha Khan and Ellis Bornstein on for the Wildcats on defense. An entirely new line of players for the TABC Storm. Borger and Moskoff on defense. Fields, Kraus on offense as Pokris tries to feed it back to the point, stripped from behind by Shea Fields. Back across it goes, knocked to the side. Ethan Moskoff getting it out. Micha Khan retreats with it for DRS, dumps it in far corner, took a weird bounce off the boards, and Pokris will play it into the corner. Pokras controlling with Borger on him. Good to see Borger on the floor. He was wearing a brace as he entered the building today, but good to see that he's able to go for the Storm.
Especially after missing the first 3 years of his hockey career due to COVID and 2 torn ACLs.
That shot goes wide from Pokras as Ritter back in the corner controls, feeds Pokras behind the net. DRS loves to cycle. This line has done it the best of any line as Pokras towards the goal, blocked away. Borger cleared it, deflected to the middle, and Fields will finish the job as Kahn on the backhand. Up ahead, Ritter touched it just a little bit too early, and it's an offside on DRS.
This combo of Ritter and Pokras looked very, very aggressive on the forecheck, something that TABC needs to keep in mind as the game goes on.
Most of the play, it seems, is in the DRS offensive zone right now, so by the net of Shia Forgash, as Rausman and Kaiser quickly back on with Brothman and Simon. And Ariel Mayer shifting in for the first time today. He's on with Ariel Rogoff, as well as Jake Frankel. As that shot stopped by Austin. Frankel went in to play backup just in case it started to sneak through.
It took a weird bounce right in front of Austin, but he corralled it. Got it in his body.
Face-off will be taken between Lawrence and Kaiser to the right of Austin. Kaiser able to win it back, looking for the shot. Brothman got it through. Rausman just wide of the net. He had the whole net, and he fanned on the shot. Golden opportunity number one of the day belongs to the Storm. They could not complete the goal.
I mean, you usually don't see Aiden Rausman miss from there. But you can't let that haunt you if you're Rausman. And that should be the first of many golden opportunities for both teams today.
Looked like a rolling ball. He could not corral it. Fanned on the shot as he just pushed it wide to the right of the net. Didn't need to elevate it. He had Austin down and out, and the side between the post and Austin's foot was open.
1,000%. I mean, it's kind of hard to corral, but at the end of the day, can't let that come back to haunt you if you're Rausman.
Brothman taking the face-off. DRS keeps it in the zone, and Mayer will make the move to the back end into the corner. DRS already rotating in their fifth offenseman as that one's cleared off the left pad of Austin, the right pad of Austin. Backhanded across, it almost popped in. Kaiser with forecheck pressure applied. Good keep by Brothman at the line there, using his foot. Kaiser and Lawrence battle in the corner.
Good puck work.
Out in front, and it just went wide. Rausman with another chance. This line of Rausman and Kaiser, excellent so far for TABC.
Just dominating.
Simon kept it in with his hand, or rather played it down with his hand as Lawrence high, backhand clear, all the way down the length of the floor, bounce off the boards. Simon back to get it for the Storm, makes a move in the corner. He's doubled by Katz and Mayer. Katz on for the first time today, taking the place of Rogoff, and now an entire new first line comes out. Yitzi Uden, or not new first line, but rather everyone but Katz new onto the floor. Micha Khan and Ellis Bornstein along with Yitzi Uden. Aryeh Izikovic seeing time for the first time this game. He's on with Moskov. It's Forgash.
Oh, nice save by Forgash.
Snatches it with the glove, stops play, and that was one of the things we didn't get to specifically in the pregame, but Shai Forgash has a phenomenal glove.
It's good to see that come into use. Just let the game come to you. Slow it down.
Daniel Austin flashing the leather on the other side on the long-range shot by TABC, stops play. We have already surpassed 3 minutes in this championship game, moving a little bit faster than the regular season meeting between these two teams did earlier on in the year in DRS.
It's looking pretty fairly even right now, but let's see who can draw first blood.
Kraus and Kahn will take the face-off as both teams started a little bit early. Kraus tries to use his foot, can't get it. Forgash missed it with his glove, however, it got stuck in the boards behind the net. So the face-off is going to come in deep. It's a board malfunction, so that's why it is not brought back to where it was cleared from. Katz on the face-off as the referee's directing traffic. Katz for DRS, Izikovic for TABC. One back in front, Kraus trying to get control. It got cleared out, and you could see the hustle from TABC coming into play already as Austin covers up, but Shea Fields looking to be the first one there. Almost went crashing into the net for the Storm.
That was the right call by Austin. Got to slow the game down, especially if there's pressure in front. Like, just get a whistle.
Backhand keep, and it just went wide of the net.
Slow down the game.
From Izikovic, backhand again by Fields, and that one stopped. Micha Khan looked like he ran into Matis Kraus there, maybe some interference. Now Katz joins the fun because Khan lost his stick, and the whistle blown, a stoppage in play. Referee's breaking up any tension. Didn't look like there was much there after. Matis Kraus was racing for the ball behind the net. When Micha Khan tried to cut him off, he actually lost his stick. That's why Katz dropped in so deep to try and cut off the angle for Kraus to get that ball back to the point for Izikovic, who has probably the hardest shot on this TABC Storm team.
As the DRS crowd gets very much into it early. Ooh.
Good work by Kraus to use his feet to keep that ball in deep, but DRS gets there first. Here's Uden with it. Katz working the round in front as they're looking to get in position for a cycle. Uden for Katz around the goal. Katz backhand, and that one stopped by Forgash. Ball took a weird bounce off the boards. Moskov back to clear it, blocked by Uden. Katz played it down, looked like with a high stick. The cross pass from Fields to Kraus deflected into the zone. Micha Khan going after it. Kraus wins that battle. Fields joins him. Now Kraus back alone. Got it in front, picked off by Uden. Good stick by Izikovic. Forgash hang on to it, lost it, but the whistle was blown. A quick whistle as Yitzi Uden and Aryeh Izikovic went tumbling over each other into the boards.
Actually, they got Forgash before they got into the boards. I don't know if it was Izikovic or Uden, but either way, I mean, that was the right idea by Kraus trying to get it in front, but there was just try to center it after coming out with it in the corner, but DRS was just there.
The RE8 Greenbaum line back on for the Wildcats as Isaac Spector takes the floor for the first time. Back in there, and what a save by Forgash. He stopped Greenbaum.
By Shia Forgash.
That was a big one, and this line doesn't have a lot of size, but they're shifty. They have excellent vision. They're both responsible defensively as forwards, and they bring a lot of speed. And you can see they're not afraid to go in there and get down and dirty for the Wildcats. As that one just got out of the zone. Lawrence's shot just missed wide. Forgash missed it playing with his stick. Ball hit the referee, kept in there. Alter across for Ari Herman, missed on the backhand feed as Moshe Aryeh in deep with Aryeh Simon there. The ball got by Spector. Herman turning on the Jets. Looked like Spector might have ran into him. Maybe interference here. Simon a shot, and that one went wide. I think it would have been a delayed offside anyway, as the chip out of play from DRS comes from Spector, and the faceoff will be deep in the DRS zone.
Going back to that last save made by Forgash, he was just there, he was ready, and just showed his poise. And that's going to be so huge for this TABC Storm team.
Both quality chances coming from balls that were knocked down in front as an opportunity to curl by Herman. That one missed. Forgash didn't get the coverage, thought he had it. Brothman lifts the stick. He'll lead the rush the other way. Backhand across for Herman. A little too far as Spector clears it out again, saying that it was deflected, though. And for that reason, it is going to... And now they're going to change the call. Noam Insler was the referee closer to the clear, said it did not get deflected. Keith Ryan from across the floor thought otherwise, but it will stay in the DRS zone. And Aiden Rausman and Ben Sion Kaiser back on for the first time. Looks like the referees are talking about something as Kaiser and Rausman talking to each other for a second. We see Zach Rothschild on for the first time today for TABC. Ben Ritter gets the ball into the zone, lifting the stick. Might have fanned on the clear there was Moskov, but as Forgash will cover up. So after those two quality chances, we are seeing ping-pong action between both these teams. A lot of dump-and-chase action, but so far we're just under halfway through the period. Who seems to have the better of play here so far?
I think that TABC has had more offensive chances, but DRS is playing very physical. They will try and play the dump and chase. They're being very aggressive on the forecheck right now, and TABC's defense just has to be aware of how aggressive the Wildcats look on the forecheck.
I got an opportunity to speak to Shea Fields, assistant captain, briefly before the game for TABC, and he told me when I asked him about how you handle this gym in terms of the size, because it's much bigger here in Frisch than it is in TABC's gym, what they're used to, as Ben Sion Kaiser fighting for that ball. It will get cleared. Fan almost reached out, thought that they had played it across, and Bornstein back for it. Sends it all the way and deflected out off the backboard into the crowd. As I was saying before, Shea Fields actually told me that the Storm practiced in Maya Note, which is a gym closer to this size in Frisch, so that they could get used to running the floor, operating with the space. Even though that they are familiar here in Frisch, being that they play here at least once a year. And DRS plays in a gym very similar to this size and these dimensions as well, back in Woodmere, known to be one of the bigger gyms in the leagues. That's where the game, in this league, and that's where the game was played earlier on, but TABC seems to have their legs under them a little bit more. Seems like they're more aware of the space they have.
Yeah. TABC, they're used to this gym. It doesn't look like too much of a problem. They're using the floor well.
Rausman trying to get the ball back in front. Kaiser played it down with the stick. Hustling out of the left corner is Ben Ritter. Got it in front for Pockeris, but had his stick lifted there by Rothschild. Rausman a shot. Looked like it was going high, but Austin not taking chances, flashing the leather with another glove save.
A long, quick wrister by Rausman. I mean, he just has an incredible shot.
Last year, he scored the overtime winner in the Junior Varsity Championship from around that same spot on Josh Popilski for DRS last year. But he is not afraid to shoot from anywhere, as Fields just missed it right in front.
He had 4 goals in the semifinal game versus Hank, and he's just a guy that you have to be aware of at all times if you're DRS.
Simon flubbed the clear there as the backhand got deflected out. It's going to go across the floor and still stay deep in the TABC zone. You don't usually see missed opportunities to clear the ball there by R.E.A. Simon. He's one of the best in terms of the skill and how smooth he can make play look.
Very smart hockey player as well.
Very, very all-around, just incredible hockey player. And on the junior side of things as well, as a steal by Mayer, sent it across, missed. Back to take it was Fields. He shot it high off the backboard. Kraus getting in. Brothman using his hand with a shot blocked by Frankel. Brothman back in deep again. Now Frankel throws the body on him in the corner. DRS likes the physicality. Brothman
worked by Frankel.
Shifted on offense as the clear came towards us. And the cameraman, it came straight out, so it'll stay in the DRS zone. But this line of Fields and Kraus, after being shifted back to back with the Rausman and Kaiser line, they seem to be getting the matchups they want right now.
But Frankel, I mean, you saw the work that he had in the corner against Fields, or excuse me, I think it was Kraus actually. But he was just not giving any inch to TABC right there.
The referees spreading out the players more. It was very crowded in the face-off circle. Rausman against Kahn will take the draws.
It's been crowded all day today.
Forgash sticks that one aside as Moskov's backhand kept it initially. Rausman might have a chance for a 2-on-1. Rausman makes a move.
And he draws an interference.
Penalty coming up on DRS. Pornstein couldn't get it away from Kaiser. Now they go in to play the ball. Cleared out by Kahn. And the first penalty of the game is going to go on DRS, and the Storm will head to the power play just past halfway through the first period.
I mean, I think that it's, who was it? Cats? Who was it?
Khan being called for the penalty, it looks like.
Khan was called for the penalty. I mean, look, Rausman was trying to get in front, and Khan just hit him. Interference. Good call by the refs, but let's see what TABC's power play can do against this tight DRS Wildcat penalty kill.
This TABC power play deadly with options at every single position. Known for playing the diamond and shifting it into a bit of a box. We'll see Kaiser and Fields down low. Rausman's at the point with Kraus, and Newton intercepts, and he'll take it into the corner. All the way down. The ball went out of play, or so it appeared it went out of play. There was a quick whistle, but great anticipation by Uden on the PK.
What a
read
shot by Yitzi. I mean, Yitzi Uden just came out of nowhere.
TABC getting ready to try to set up Rausman. A sharp shot and a save there by Austin. Didn't catch it cleanly with the glove. The ball's up in play. Not sure where it is DRS. TABC trying to get control. Rausman didn't keep it in the zone, but kept it from going the length of the floor and manages to hang on. Here's Kraus into the zone. He'll set it up. Kraus with a shot. That one deflected off Austin and ended up out of play, where the board blocks off the entrance to the away team's locker room.
I mean, I think TABC, after that intercept by Uden that went the other way, I think they just started to slow it down. Some good looks by Rausman and Kraus, I think.
Here's Fields off the face-off, controlling, centered it off across. Rausman shoots, and that one goes wide. Kaiser looking for a rebound, is backhanded on goal, covered by Austin. Frankel and Lawrence helping bottle up the space and not allowing Kaiser to work his way in deep. If you can notice, Bencio and Kaiser clearly the most physical player, and not in a dirty way, but for TABC and giving them the opportunity with that big body in front.
It's very good. I mean, you kind of have to be physical to be a net front guy. And,
Kaiser for Kraus. Or that was Fields, excuse me. Good play there, but good save by Austin. Arya taking it away. Here's a shot from a sharp angle. A save there by the goalie, Austin. And now here's Rausman with Arya sliding down. Rausman with another shot. That one just went wide. Lawrence on the backhand gets it out. Arya can fly. He's out for the Wildcats as Micha Khan awaiting his time to be up on the penalty. Across it goes, almost pickpocketed by Lawrence. Kraus steps in front, gets it across. Nice pass to Rausman. Winds up, trying to get it towards the net. Rebound was blocked. Here's Fields, a backhand, and that one got blocked. That was Kaiser, excuse me. And the rebound cleared by the Wildcats. Micha Khan getting set to come out of the box. The penalty came at 5:22. He's out. It was touched there by Khan, who's on offense now for a shift. Knocked the man down behind the goal. That was Rausman for TABC. Knocked him down again, and now Keith
Krausman
got the call. And another penalty in the corner there.
I mean, that was just, you did it once, didn't get called.
And it looks like the penalty's being called against TABC, actually.
Wow, I thought Rausman twice. I thought he got cross-checked. That's what it looked like to me.
At DRS going bonkers. Now Noam Insler giving the insight to Keith and explaining the situation. But Keith has made his ruling, and that is a penalty on TABC. And that is an interesting call, making me wonder if they actually didn't call a penalty, as we see Noam Becker taking the floor, and now it just looks like they actually did not call a penalty.
Okay, I mean, I didn't see anything by TABC that looked dirty to me, so, I mean, if anything, it should have been against, the penalty should have been against DRS, but I think that it was ultimately a good no call by the officials.
It looked like TABC was arguing the fact, because Keith Ryan, the referee at the point, did put his hand up, signifying some sort of stoppage and play call. As you see Akiva Mattel and Noam Becker on the floor for the first time today. That shot fed through, and a save there by Forgash, stuck it aside. Trying to clear the zone there was Brothman, couldn't. Pakris is on now with Ben Ritter into the corner. This line cycled really well, their first shift, and they're looking to do it again. Pakris behind the net, making the move, shoots, and that one was blocked. Rebounds kept it at the point, trying to settle it down. It was blocked in front. Simon, good job to use his body.
Clear by Simon as he was falling down.
He was able to clear it out, but with that being said, it is going to be a deep zone faceoff because he shot it straight out of play cleanly from his own end.
So what I was saying about Bencio Kraus earlier about his net front physicality, it's a very good, or Bencio Kaiser, is that it was just that, I mean, it's definitely a big advantage for the Storm, and DRS is just going to have to shut it down.
This line of Becker and Mattel was the second line on the Storm's JV team last season. They were very effective. They bring a lot of speed and a lot of size. As you see Akiva Mattel getting in front. Got it to Becker, who wasn't ready for it. Forgash will get ready to hold with Pakris and Ritter coming right up.
I mean, Josh, what have you seen this first period so far?
You know, it's a lot of ping-pong action. The chances seem to be coming in waves, or at least the quality chances seem to be coming in waves, but TABC and DRS both clearly showing they are confident in every line they put out there. They're not playing the matchups necessarily, as Forgash leaped out to cover that with Pakris wide open in front. But overall, it's looking really even. The one power play on TABC's side, they look good. DRS didn't look like they were going to withstand it a couple seconds in, but Austin making some good saves going laterally. And after that, once they made the change and brought Yudin off, and Moshe Arya was on for the kill, a lot more disrupting of the overall setup and opportunity to set up for TABC, and that's really what brought the momentum. And then after that, the questionable call or no call, as the ball hit the top of the bench and stayed in, but it was a quick whistle by the referees. Faceoff will remain deep in the zone right in front of the TABC bench.
2:50 left.
2:50 to go in this first period. It's looking very even as Forgash reaches out, and another glove save. He's had 3 or 4 of those within the last couple seconds. DRS is content with that. It's a deep zone faceoff for them every time. Faceoff between Zach Rothschild and Max Pakris. He won it back. Moskoff into the boards, picked up now by Pakris. Ritter around the goal, looking to get it in front for Pakris' backhander, and that did not hit the net. Pakris.
This unit of Pakris and and Ritter they're just so good down low.
Looked like Keith was ready to pick his hand up for a penalty. Ritter, whoa! Forgas rebound, and it was blown dead.
Wow, that was an early whistle, but again, that unit of Pokras and Ritter making something out of nothing. They love to play behind the net. A good first save by Forgash. I think that it was an early call, but just very good work, and again, something that TABC needs to be aware of when that unit of Pokras and Ritter are out there.
Well, it looks like TABC might have been bailed out there. The whole top shelf was open for Max Pokras, and Forgash was down aware. As Rousman, a low shot, save Austin, and the rebound is covered.
I think they were bailed out.
Could get there.
For sure.
Rousman and Kaiser back on. Jake Frankel will take the face-off for the Wildcats. He's on with Lawrence.
As DRS starts a Misha Nichnas Adar chant.
We have a clear high just over the net. Not over the boards, though. And Frankel couldn't keep it in with his hand. Lawrence back to reverse. He'll take it to the forehand, looking to shoot. It bounces on goal. Forgash will glove it. A stoppage in play. I think this 3 to 2 minute mark has been the slowest time in terms of time off the clock and overall stoppages in play, how many we've had.
Oh, for sure. We've had like half a dozen
game.
Stoppages within the last minute.
The faceoff was one back and went wide. Forgash might have got a piece of it with his stick. TABC on the forecheck. Ben-Seal and Kaiser into the corner. Got out with it. Kaiser looking to feed it back to the point with Mayer dropping in. Kaiser lifts the stick. Able to win possession of the ball back. Now Mayer knocked it down. The ball was pushed into the corner. Rousman couldn't get a clean handle on it. Simon back for it and able to dump it in. It took a weird bounce off Keith. It hit Mayer coming back as he had not yet crossed the line, and it's an offside on the Wildcats.
So it'll go back into the Wildcat zone. But, yeah, I mean, DRS is starting to pick it up these past few minutes, not allowing TABC to get in the zone to set things up. And TABC needs to figure out a way to break the press.
Katz and Uden out now for DRS on offenses. Bornstein swings and misses, trying to clear the zone. Now here's Kraus working along with Fields. Kraus in front. Oh, what a save! Rebound was blocked! Austin got the 5-0 shot. Now back to the point. Shot just bounces wide off the stick.
Fields did not know where the puck was.
No call there. The board got knocked off, though. Micha Khan and Matis Kraus coming together. The crowd chanting, "You can't do that," but no penalty was called.
That was a good no call by the refs.
Looked like they were both going for the ball, and that Kraus got ball first.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, that's just something about the boards. Like, it doesn't take a lot for these boards to come off.
Yeah, they are not set in stone as Khan went down, no call. Here's a shot from Fields. He just missed the top corner wide. Izikovic trying to keep it in. He does. Kraus with a shot. That one missed wide. Here's Fields looking to pick it up. Bornstein getting down on all fours. Back to the point. Here's a shot. Moskoff, and that one deflected and ended up out of play. But it will come back and stay, or not come back, but will stay in the TABC zone. And just as we were saying that TABC had to find a way to break the press, there you see an excellent shift, and they got their defense involved, getting shots from the point as well.
Those last 45 seconds were all Storm, entirely. And, I mean, literally, just as I said it.
Rousman and Kaiser back on for TABC. Good keep at the point. There's Brothman. It was touched. Simon didn't get it. TABC takes the offsides intentionally. Aiden Rousman knew it, and I think realizing that who DRS has on the back end out there, and Lawrence and Frankel, well worth the risk, not willing to give up that shot, as RA won it straight, but did not let the ball hit the floor first. One of the rules here in the Yeshiva League is that the ball has to hit the floor before it can be touched on a face-off. Face-off is won straight ahead by DRS as Rousman shot it. It was blocked. RA trying to keep it with his hand but couldn't get to it. Rousman will work it out of the zone, and back to get it is Nathaniel Lawrence. Looks to risk the cross, got deflected, came its way through. Here's RA's shot, and that one rolled just wide. Rousman in deep to pick it up for TABC with just under 45 seconds left in the first. Rousman has his pocket picked by Jack Greenbaum. Looks to clear it out. Simon will push up. RA goes down, might have held him for a second. The ball, though, ended up out of play when Lawrence tried to keep it in. Face-off will be in the DRS zone.
With 32.7 left on the clock.
I mean, this has been a great game so far. Rousman and Kaiser will step off as Fields and Kraus will come on. Brothman and Simon remain the defensive pairing out there for TABC. As that shot gloved by Austin, didn't catch it cleanly, but kept it out. Good keep by Simon. His shot just went wide. Now here's Fields, looking to get it across. Fields with a shot just rolled wide. Just under 20 seconds to go in the period as Frankel clears, and it ended up off the top of the board out of play. I think it caromed off the back wall and stayed in, but the referees rule it out.
I think that Fields was looking for Kraus to take a backdoor cut, but, I mean, good looks by the Storm over the past 15 seconds.
Looked like Simon was open on the cross point pass as well. Brothman shoots, that one's blocked, plays it ahead. It's touched by Lawrence, and Kraus and Fields will go to work in the corner. Under 10 seconds to go here in the first period, trying to work it out. Fields getting it back to the point. Brothman cut in, keeps it in. Greenbaum with one last chance, spins it out of the zone on the floor, and that's how the first period comes to an end. A great game so far through one, but the score knotted up at 0-0.
Very even, very back and forth. And I think that both of these teams are doing what they do best right now with the Storm and their offense, and TABC, and DRS, making something out of nothing.
For now, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll discuss the playing of both of these teams in just a couple of minutes, and then we will be right back for the second period.
really good, actually. On Friday, my dad has not been able to walk up the stairs like without holding onto a railing since August.
And he did? Are you staying for JV also?
No, I'm not. YU has a game. I'm going to be seeing my dad in 3 hours.
Who's YU playing? Baseball?
City College of New York.
For what sport?
Hockey.
Starting
Yeah, I
your-
would have. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I would have gone. Stopped by for a second. Had I not been calling this game. But yeah, no, sorry.
Or Mark needs to switch to TABC. Look, you know it's a better environment. You know it. You know it. You can't deny it.
I just hate the co-ed stuff. I know my kids are not going to a co-ed school.
Would you send them to TABC?
Maybe.
My rabbi said, you know Rabbi Hodai?
Yeah.
He said I'm going to start.
No, I'm kidding.
Don't worry. He said I'm going to become shark.
You should become Stark.
Not yet. What?
You smoke yet?
Not yet.
Look, don't. Seriously, don't get into that or else you're dead. Which Rebbeim have you become close with?
Like Rabbi Hodai, very tight.
Yeah.
Rabbi Stone. Ezra.
How is TABC though?
So fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
You play any sports there?
Yeah, I played hockey, but I broke my wrist.
What did you do?
Last week of the summer, I broke my wrist.
How?
I was in LA, and I was on the beach, and I tripped and fell on the pavement.
I actually think you told me about that. What was the deal with that? What did that banner say that you guys were holding up?
It's like the DRS banner for like sportsmanship. They got it.
Slow mo. Yankees, the Cowboys, but the Raiders. I went to the Stadium Series.
Yeah, I love Roslovic. He's
I
so
took
good.
Mark, Alex,
And
and
Max.
Max.
Welcome back to Frisch here. We have just under a minute and 40 seconds remaining in the first intermission between the DRS Wildcats and the TABC Storm here in the MYHSAL Varsity Hockey Championship. It's a 0-0 game. Matthew, so far, great play on both sides.
I mean, very back and forth right now. They're just doing what they're doing best right now, both teams. The Storm have shown their offensive prowess, haven't been able to finish yet, but shouldn't worry. I mean, there's still 24 minutes left in this game. And DRS, man, they're just doing well, disrupting TABC system. Very aggressive on the forecheck, especially Ritter and Pakras. And, yeah, no, they're definitely working to shut this TABC Storm offense down.
Well, really, I don't think that I would necessarily have handed play to any specific team, in terms of having the edge. I think these two teams right now are dead even.
Yeah.
They're both coming in waves, though. That's really the way it's
That's what it is.
going down.
It's in waves for both teams. Like, you'll have 2 minutes where it's all TABC, and then 2 minutes where it's all DRS, and back and forth, vice versa.
TABC re-entering for the second period, circling around their net. Something that we didn't touch on exactly in specific points just as the game was going on because we were calling it, but what do we think of Shia Forgash so far in terms of his
I think that
adjustment?
Shia Forgash came out, looked a little bit nervous, but once he settled down, he's shown great poise, great reaves. Might have caught a big break with a play by Pakras. down low.
The quick whistle.
But so far he's looked very good. Same thing with Austin, by the way. I mean, yeah, both goalies have looked good so far.
Yeah, definitely not looking like the weaknesses of both of these teams.
No.
By any means. And in terms of the TABC defense, I know that we highlighted the fact that DRS is going to be the favorite coming into this game and that their bread and butter is their ability to lock teams down defensively. But TABC's defense, give them credit because DRS has gotten, as I've said, the play is really dead even. They have had to face their fair share of offensive waves and pushes from DRS, and TABC is doing a good job of really not just, it's more than hanging in there. They are, they're doing whatever they need to do in order to keep Forgash clear and prevent as many chances.
Yeah, no, their defense looks strong. Simon's looked very good. He's the one that, I'm really noticing just all over the place. Not calling out anybody else. I mean, they're all playing very, very well. All these guys.
The one thing I do just want to point out, though, in terms of the minutes, is that Max Borger started, or at least got a shift earlier on in the game, very early on in the game. I think it was the second defensive shift that TABC did, the second line defense that they brought on, and hasn't seen the floor since. So wondering if it's either A, a minutes restriction, or B, if maybe that ankle is giving in a little bit and trying to limit the amount of pressure he puts on it.
It's worth noting. Actually, he just put his helmet back on. It was worth noting that until literally 20 seconds ago, he was the last member of the Storm to not have his helmet on. I don't know if that says something, but I mean now he has his helmet on. But that's something that we should be following.
Well, you'd definitely like to see him get back in this game. The impact he's made.
I think that everybody is rooting for Max Borger right now.
Yeah, both as a player, on the floor with his physical ability, and as well as a leader. The story goes back as we are just about ready to go for the second period. Real quick with Max Borger is he missed his 9th grade year because of COVID. Every single senior did. But in 10th and 11th grade, tore his ACL in each year, so couldn't play. As we are underway here in the second period, face-off is won forward by DRS to Forgash, and the Wildcats opening up with Max Pokris and Ben Ritter. They're the line that seemed to control play and have the best looks for them in that first period instead of Jack Greenbaum and Moshe Aryeh. So it'll be interesting to see, as it was a point made during the pregame, how Larry Gross decides to allocate the time to their lines. There's a good keep on Lawrence, and Ritter now trying to work it into the corner, but it got stopped there by Brothman, who clears the zone, goes cross-court into the corner. Jake Frankel on the backhand. It was knifed high and all the way out into the zone. Simon will use his hand, take it into the corner. He's pressed there by Pokris, double-teamed by Ritter. Rousman comes back up. His shot stopped by Austin, but played down. Kaiser hard on the forecheck, not allowing much to get through. Rousman trying to get it in deep as well.
Good
Kaiser
work by Rousman and Kaiser.
Kaiser picked the pocket. Rousman! His shot blocked there by Frankel. Good keep there on the back end by Aryeh Simon. Good play to get it away from Ben Ritter. And now potential 2-on-1. Ritter getting it around the goal. Now spins back out to the forehand. Leaves it on the backhand curl. Pokris went down. Brothman able to get there, pick it off, can't clear. And now he'll bring it up the floor for the Storm. Brothman, the shot off. Saved there by Austin as Pokris gets the rebound in. Rousman shoves Pokris. Whistle and stoppage in play, but no penalty. And I think that Rousman might have gotten away with one there.
Yeah, it did look like that. I mean,
you can see Pokris pleading his case to the referee who was right there. And it looked like on both sides because he went down in front of the net when Ritter looked to cycle with him.
Yeah. Just up here.
Now Moshe Aryeh and Jack Greenbaum back on the floor for DRS. Ellis Bornstein on with Micha Khan as Fields able to get that ball up and out of the zone. Looks to hand it down to himself. Fields in across cross. Wide. Rebound threw it in front, but it was blocked away by Bornstein. And here comes DRS. Bornstein shoots low. Pad save there by Forgash.
That was the best chance that we've seen all day from the Storm.
Great move there by Jack Greenbaum to get around the player in front. Looking across, and he threw it across the middle, but did not hit the net. Moshe Aryeh pressed by Isakovitz, and it was deflected into the glove of Austin, but it popped right out as Greenbaum couldn't handle it down. Izekowicz looking to use his body. Greenbaum not allowing him to come up. The ball popped over the line. It's an offside. DRS touches up. Here's Kraus with a shot off the blocker of Austin, maybe off the stick of the shaft, or excuse me, the shaft of the stick. But it looked like TABC was just a little bit
Yeah, they did look
offside.
They did look a little bit offside, and that's what the refs are calling, so it'll be in the Storm zone.
Well, it took us a while to get some quality chances for both sides in the first period, but not even 2 minutes in, both teams, shift after shift, with quality opportunities. As Kraus with a shot low, saved by Austin. Fields is in the slot waiting for a pass. Kraus not willing to give it there. Now the stick lift gets through, and Aryeh will deflect it out of the zone on net, and Forgash hangs on for the Storm with 9:58 left in the second. And again, going back and forth on both sides. It's been the same start to the second that we saw all throughout the first, as Simon, Brothman, Kaiser, and Rausman back on for TABC. It'll be Rogoff and Mayer with Frankel and Lawrence for DRS. As DRS can't keep the ball in the zone, it's a known offside. That's something DRS has always been something worth doing. Nice move by Rausman around Frankel. His shot blocked, and it came out of play into the Storm crowd.
Nice snag there.
You could see the skill on hand. That's the second time Rausman has made moves from the inside to the outside. He drew the penalty in the first period by doing that against Micha Khan, and there didn't exactly turn Jake Frankel inside out, but created a little bit of space, and good rebound by Frankel to block the shot as Brothman puts it back. The shot just went wide.
Off the backhand.
Very quick motion by Jonathan Brothman as Rausman looking to take control back in the corner against Frankel and Rogoff. Now Lawrence back to collect it. The ball just popped out wide. Forgash able to stick it aside.
Good
Big play.
stick by Forgash.
Great play by Rausman trying to get it in deep, though. The Wildcats do. Mayer works it in front, looking to play it out. Mayer gains control. Rausman's in deep. Frankel's open at the point, and that ball couldn't get out of the zone as finally cleared out by Rausman. Kaiser in there, beats Lawrence the ball, looking to get it back to the point, but Mayer's not giving him a lane. Here's Simon, he shoots, and a glove save by Daniel Austin.
Nice save by Austin.
Might have been going just high, and that's the second time, though, that we've seen him not wanting to take chances, and especially in a championship game. You never know how it might come back to bite you.
You always have to play it as if it's going on net.
Very smart play by Daniel Austin. And Aryeh Simon might have had that shot deflected just a tad bit as he corralled it and took a snapshot rather than just a quick wrist shot. Kraus into the corner, gets it back. Rothschild shoots. It deflected up on goal. Kraus backhand across. Cleared off out of the crease by the DRS defender.
What a clear by Khan.
Cats flying out of the pressure. Here's a great move by Fields, looking to get it across. Kraus broken up by Khan. Khan pushing it the other way. Great keep. Kraus has Fields wide open across, looks to spin it in front, and he didn't get it off cleanly. Kraus able to use his foot. Bornstein strips him. Here comes Bornstein, right side, shoots. Blocked by Zach Rothschild. And the rebound is cleared into the corner. Micha Khan back to get it with Kraus on him.
What a shift by Micha Khan.
Gets it into the zone. Eitan Katz first there for DRS. He's got Yudin in front if he wants it. In front, and the ball just went wide off the stick of Yudin. Khan, or rather Moskov, down in the corner. Referee signaling no stoppage in play. Yudin trying to take control. Forgash pleading his case, having the best vantage point from anyone who was on the floor for TABC other than Ethan Moskov, who went down in the corner with Eitan Katz. But they're letting them play it out. Other than that one clear penalty by Micha Khan in the first where he clearly took Aiden Rausman out after he got free, no penalties called, and overall, we're seeing it on both sides. They're letting them play.
This is playoff hockey. You can get away with a lot more than you can in the regular season. And the refs know that.
Ritter and Pokris back on. Spector and Lawrence, the defenseman for DRS. As Simon out of the zone, it deflected. I wonder, it looked like a fan reached into the field of play there, and as a result, it looks like they are going to put the face-off in deep. Not sure if those are TABC or DRS fans over there. Probably TABC.
The ref called it a deflection, which it definitely was. It definitely deflected off of a DRS stick. But yeah, no, if you're a fan, you just got to watch out.
As we see DRS faithful getting fired up. TABC has been a little bit quieter than that of DRS, but like we said in the pregame, both of these schools known for bringing out big crowds, and still showing it off here as the face-off one back. Simon couldn't keep it, worked out of the zone by Pokris. Moskov hustling along with Pokris into the corner, finally trying to get it out. Ari Herman back on the floor, able to work it in.
By Herman getting it deep.
Looked like Spectre wasn't giving him a clean lane to get through. Might have gotten away with a little interference as Ezra Alter, alternate captain for the TABC Storm, gets it in front for Ari Herman.
Once again, I think it was a good no call by the refs.
Simon pushed off the ball there. Good play by Alter. Here's Ari Herman trying to get the backhand through. It went free into the corner. He's got Alter in the slot if he wants it. Feeds it there. Alter couldn't get control of it. Good step up in front. Pokris will push it ahead into the zone. R.A. Simon ties him up from behind. Good play by Simon to get body positioning as Pokris ends up out of the floor, or rather out of the corner with it. Tried to stick it in front. Ritter couldn't get it. Good keep with the hand by Lawrence. He touched it, and that negates the hand pass. Lawrence will poke it in deeper. Pokris, he scores! Max Pokris! What a keep by Lawrence to set it up in DRS with the opening goal. Just under 5 minutes into the second, strikes first, and it's 1-0 Wildcats.
That was all Jack Lawrence. What a keep. Nathaniel Lawrence, I mean. So all Nathaniel Lawrence, what a keep. But if you're TABC, you've got to watch the guy in the middle of the slot. You can't leave him open. Just lift up a stick or something like that. And just like that, DRS takes a 1-0 lead.
Greenbaum and Aryeh on with Bornstein and Kahn for DRS, and Larry Gross looks like going to that energy line after getting that opening goal. And that goal very, very similar to the goal that happened, as it looks like we're going to have a hand pass, or a high stick rather. Micha Khan touching it, firing it wide of the net. That goal very similar to what ended up being the game-tying goal 2 years ago in the championship on the JV level between these teams, when it was Shmuel Fine who kept the ball in the zone on the opposite end and allowed Yitzi Yudin to work his way into the middle and get the shot off on Amichai Dresner, putting it 5-hole. Very similar result, only on the opposite end from Nathaniel Lawrence, and being Max Pokris having the opportunity to finish it off. As Kraus will take the face-off here against Jack Greenbaum. One across Sheffield, shoots, and that one's deflected. Rebound, shoots, just goes wide of the net. Good play by Bornstein to use his body and not allow Kraus a lane to the cage, as Moskov had the ring open, didn't get it off. Greenbaum and Aryeh working in deep. Moskov strips Aryeh of the ball, but Greenbaum and Aryeh combine to take it back. Greenbaum was waiting for it in front. Here's a nice move by Kraus, across the shot, and that one, what a save made by Austin. What a move by Montes Kraus.
Austin just looked big out there. He plays very big.
That is his style. Good glove, but a big body, knows how to cut off the angle, and Greenbaum just deflected it over the boards and out of play. Andrew Giller on the DRS bench arguing for a deflection to be called there, but not going to get it.
Kraus had nothing to shoot at there.
Yeah, he had Shea Fields across for the pass, but you never know. And me personally, having been a coach in the league and a player in the past, I've always been a fan of taking that shot if you have it, because you never know if you're going to get that opportunity again, let alone in a championship game, as that shot or clear came out of the zone from Lawrence with Ben-Sion Kaiser on him. And now the Storm faithful starting to get into it a little bit with a couple of grade A chances for TABC after the goal by Max Pokris for DRS.
I mean, TABC looks like they're responding pretty well.
Doesn't look like they have tried to change their game plan. Good keep by Jonathan Brothman. That one deflected into the crowd, and DRS, or rather TABC, will have a face-off in their zone. Rogoff will take the face-off against Ben-Sion Kaiser, as Kaiser tied him up. TABC able to win it back. Nice play there. The backhander from Rausman just went wide. Rausman gets back to it, trying to whack it away from Lawrence, using his body to get in there. Rausman looking at Simon, who's at the point, tries to dribble through him, couldn't get there. Ariel Mayer was trying to get there, dumped into the zone, played out by Lawrence. Lawrence blocked by Kaiser, but it ended up going out of play in between the boards.
Good aggressive forecheck by Ben-Sion Kaiser there. In
the great words of Mo Fuchs, the TABC Storm's head coach, Ben-Sion Kaiser is an absolute truck. And you could see he doesn't need to play with a lot of skill in his game. He has it, and he can pick his corners, he'll get his opportunities, but you could see allowing his legs to do the work, his body to do the work, and not relying so much on the full-on hand-eye coordination and the skill that he brings. As TABC got the late change, Ethan Moskoff hops on for the Storm.
A good, well-rounded power forward.
And now a penalty coming up on TABC. It looked like Ellis Bornstein who took the hit. Matis Kraus does not like the call. And I wonder, I did not get the motion if they called him for either an elbow or a hook.
It's an elbow.
Definitely looked like the right call. As you could see, Mo Fuchs
is furious.
Not very happy with the play or the decision of his co-captain Kraus, and instead of sending him to the penalty box immediately, the coaching staff trying to calm him down, they just got consent from the referees, who do not usually let that happen, but giving them the chance here. And now Keith, the ref, directing. Oh, no, it looks like a timeout was called by DRS.
TABC.
TABC, okay. Pointed to the DRS bench.
No, he pointed to the ABC bench. I think Fuchs just called timeout.
Well, this is interesting. If you're Matis Kraus, you've made such great moves in this game. The 2-on-1 earlier, the toe drag around Micha Khan here in the second period, right after the goal from Max Pokras, and then the penalty comes. I mean, that's a momentum killer, potentially a momentum swinger if you're DRS right now, because this is their opportunity to end up with a 2-goal lead at the end of this power play.
Yeah. If you're Matis Kraus, you just have to find a way to bounce back from that. As soon as you get out of the box, minute 30 seconds, just bounce back.
Penalty will be over at 4:14. Matis Kraus penalized on the play for, I believe, an elbow. Only the second penalty of the game, though, as a whole, one on each team. It was TABC who got the first opportunity on the power play. We're about to see the Wildcats get their first opportunity on the man advantage here, just over halfway through the second period. As Bornstein, Pokras, Lawrence, and Khan out there. Interestingly enough, Bornstein there, because Ben Ritter normally plays that back left corner position on the power plays. Khan, a shot! Great save by Forgash. Micha Khan, one of the best shots in the league, but shy
a
of
full
Forgash.
court, but a laser.
I mean, that was labeled for the top right corner. Shia Forgash showing off the glove. As we mentioned earlier, one of the best, if not the best gloves in the Yeshiva League.
Converted baseball player.
Aiden Rousman is the chaser with Brothman and Simon as the forwards. Back to the point. Lawrence lets it go. He just went wide with it.
Another laser.
Kept it in. Good play by Rousman. He shoots and just missed wide to the glove side of Austin. I mean, Austin was out to challenge there, way out of his net. However,
Austin was not ready.
He was not. I mean, if that one would have snuck in.
What a momentum killer for this Wildcats team if that snuck in.
Forgash couldn't get the glove on. Tied him up on the play was Pokras trying to get it in front for Bornstein. It popped too high. Bornstein will take control. Simon looks to kick it down into the corner. And time ticking off the clock as there's not much movement. Even though DRS has the double team, now they escape with it. It's Max Pokras out. Pokras, the lone goal scorer in the game, spins off his back and looking to get it in front for Bornstein backdoor. Good move there by Brothman, but Pokras planted himself in front, now not allowing him to get it out. And Brothman with the high, not even clear out of the zone. Khan back with it. Rousman squares up.
25.
As the shot from Khan goes wide, Brothman spins off onto the backhand, looking to get it out. Pokras with his body able to keep it in. Just 15 seconds left. Ball almost stuck in on Forgash, and that one was missed by Bornstein. And out of the zone, here is Rousman looking to gain control. Khan strips him, sends it on just over the net as Kraus steps out of the box. Good kill by the TABC Storm. More opportunities for the Storm on their power play than for DRS on theirs. We'll see if that gives TABC a little bit of momentum back. You see it all the time, how a clean penalty kill can really do that for a team, as
TABC did a very good job killing that penalty. I mean, didn't allow them to really get that many chances, but, I mean, if you're TABC, if you're Mofuse, you got to feel happy with that penalty kill effort.
Yeah, and even if the ball was in their zone for most of the penalty kill, which it was, not in a threatening position for DRS to really be able to capitalize with it as Kraus kicks it out of the zone, and
they did a good job of covering the middle. Is what
getting it up ahead, and Uden's shot deflected out of play into the DRS fans.
Just did a good job blocking passing lanes and getting into the corners.
Kraus and Uden will take the face-off. Katz on with Uden, Fields on with Kraus. Moskov and Izikovic, the defenseman for TABC, with Spector and Frankel on the back end for DRS. Just under 4 minutes to go in the second period, 3:53 remaining on the clock as Uden wins that battle ahead from Izikovic. Katz goes into the corner, sent it to the middle, no one there. Fields a shot. Austin crossed his glove with his blocker side, but while he didn't catch it cleanly, he got the stoppage.
But it is now in the Wildcat zone.
Deep zone faceoff is definitely something that both teams don't mind having at the cost of a stoppage in play. And especially in a one-goal game, if you're TABC here with it just a couple of feet in front of Austin, this Kraus Fields line has been good for them. Let's see if they can capitalize. As Kraus wins that battle, cross for Fields, sent it wide. Shea Fields setting up Matis Kraus earlier in the game for the exact same opportunity. It looked identical, but Kraus was the passer this time, and Fields the same result. And I believe that, again, Austin coming out of the net, challenging, cutting off the angle, and making himself look big so it doesn't appear that Fields has the opportunity to hit the net.
Disrupted Shea Fields.
The pass was good, again, and the shot just went wide. Here's Shea Fields, sprung out of the cannon. The backhander was blocked off to the side by Frankel. Uden with a turn and take, and he just ripped it wide. Low to the glove side on Forgash as Kraus couldn't get control of it. Here's Brothman. What a clear. That was Moskov, with a great play there as Frankel threw the body out on Fields. Kraus with control, shot from a sharp angle, and a save there by Austin. Moskov getting the ball back in his own corner with Katz on him from behind. Got it behind the goal as Izikovic could not get it out. Now Kraus with a shot, almost stuck in. It rolled just over the pad of Austin, but he was able to keep it out. Now Izikovic using his body on Uden, who easily takes control of the ball. Uden curls, shoots, and a save there by Forgash. The rebound cleared out of harm's way. Blocked, here's Fields. Backhand save, rebound goes wide. Fields, shot out of the cannon again, curls and shoots. He's blocked by Lawrence. Fields and Lawrence battling for it. Here's Uden on goal. It almost popped up. Backhanded out of the zone by Izikovic. Back to get it, Lawrence. Fields and Kraus tired at the end of this shift. Rister on net, or rather just missed wide. As a change on the fly, no offside there. Or now they do say offside. Kraus and Fields were very tired, but an excellent shift. And Shea Fields, an absolute horse out there for the TABC Storm on that shift. And now you get that tired line of Lawrence and Frankel off. Micha Khan has been excellent defensively in this game, and they're sending Ellis Bornstein out there on defense, but a fresh Kaiser and Rausman line with 2:26 left in this second period in a one-goal game. This is where we're going to see if TABC can capitalize.
And this is where you see the matchups come into play. Larry Gross intentionally put out Bornstein and Khan there to just try and stifle that top forward pair of Rausman and Kaiser.
The ball was cleared straight into the TABC bench. It was, I believe that was Ellis Bornstein who did not get it all the way. Faceoff will be deep in the DRS zone as Rausman couldn't keep it in. Shot there by Brothman. Greenbaum hustles, keeps it in. Aryeh was in the middle. Now he motions to the slot. Aryeh with an opportunity, plays it to the backhand into the corner. TABC playing a good overall defensive game against this Aryeh and Greenbaum line. They have not been anywhere near as effective as that one deflected, and it was an offside. Almost hopped in the net, but would not have counted if it would have crossed the line. But this TABC defense, as I mentioned, playing a very good game and has had a really good scheme planned, as they have been proving against this Aryeh and Greenbaum line, which really just was a catalyst in that game earlier on in the year in DRS. And
the Simon Brothman pair is looking very good out there today.
Yeah, and as I mentioned at the start of the game when they started, Simon keeps it and gets the backhand off, but not through. Greenbaum shot off the blocker of Forgash. Rausman wins that ball battle. Here's Kaiser stripped from behind by Spector. Just under 1:50 to go here in the second period. Micha Khan couldn't get it out. Good keep initially by Simon, but Arye able to work it out of the zone. Using his body, lowering his center of gravity. He went down, but it looks like he tripped over the ref.
Yeah,
And
that's what it was.
DRS wanted a penalty with it right in front of their bench, but not getting the call. 1:35 on the dot left in the second period. And both teams yet to make a line change. Really makes me wonder if maybe they are trying to play matchups after all. And just as I say it, TABC will shift Rausman and Kaiser to Kraus and Fields.
See what these big boys can do again.
Well, they got their mismatch temporarily, but see if it happens. It's Forgash with the glove save, and it looks like DRS, or I would expect DRS at the very least to maybe make that change back. Or maybe trying to get a more favorable matchup with Lawrence and Frankel, maybe on a line that TABC might not want them on. But they're sticking with their 4. Spector has come on for Ellis Bornstein. That pass came right into the middle, but no one there to pick it up. Kraus does for TABC, backhands it just wide of the goal. Micha Khan back to get it. Got around Shea Fields. A little bit high. Forgash, though, not taking any chances. And we haven't seen so many of those from DRS, those high shots where Forgash has went out to play it with his glove. Most of their opportunities seem to be hitting the net. As Lawrence will take the floor now for Spector. So Spector comes off for Lawrence, and it's Lawrence with Khan now. Arye and Greenbaum still remain the offensive line out there for DRS as Khan shot off the window of the athletic director's office there. And now here's Jonathan Brothman pressured by Jack Greenbaum. Greenbaum took it away behind the goal. Nice play to spin away with it, but Brothman got it back.
Good work by Brothman behind the net.
Brothman clears it high off the board, and it gets stuck in the pocket there. But they are going to call it a deep zone faceoff. Nathaniel Lawrence was pointing down into the TABC zone, signifying that it should go deep. However, it's a board malfunction. We've seen that a couple times already in this game where they just leave the faceoff right in the circle closest to where the ball exited play. As Kraus on the faceoff couldn't get it cleanly. Khan up ahead, wristed it, and it got deflected out of play. As you can see, Kraus asking for an explanation on either that call or a previous call with Noam Insler. Ben Ritter and Max Pokras back together out on the floor, 58.9 seconds. This is the first time we haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah, I mean, they were responsible for that one goal versus, as there was some sort of malfunction. They were responsible for that one goal coming off of Max Pokras' stick. But, yeah, I don't know what prompted Larry Gross to set them for all that time.
Well, we mentioned they could go 4 lines deep if need be, and they have. You know, we said at the beginning of the game it was going to be very interesting to see how Larry Gross manages the times for all 8 of his offensemen that have consistently gotten playing time this year, as Kraus wins that ball battle on Nathaniel Lawrence, but up ahead for Ritter, who shoots just wide, deflected, and Forgash, with not anyone around him, will glove it before the pressure comes in. 47.4 seconds to go in the second period. 1-0 DRS leading on a goal from Max Pokras, as that one popped up high. Ben Ritter played it with his hand, but it was touched by a Storm player, so the hand pass whistled away, or not whistled. Behind the goal for Max Pokras, got it in front, and Ritter didn't have the angle.
Ritter was all alone there.
Beat Izikovic to the middle, did not have his stick in the position ready for a shot as he was adjusting himself.
Izikovic right there was caught puck watching.
Izikovic using his body there, and it looks like he might be a little bit tired. Him and Moskov have been on for some time. What a pass! Pokras just missed! Might have just been altered at the last second there by Moskov as Fields couldn't get it out. It pops behind the goal as the clock ticks down at the end of the second. And after 2, we do have a goal on the board. 1-0 DRS after the second period.
Coming off of Max Pokras' stick. I mean, again, Pokras had an absolute great chance right there. Couldn't capitalize. Just goes off of Forgash's pad. And after 24 minutes, it's a 1-0 game, DRS.
This is an absolutely thrilling game. We're going to send it to a quick commercial break. When we come back, We'll have some analysis on the second and the third period coming right up here on the Yeshiva Sports Network. Welcome back to Frisch for the start of the third period here in the MYHSAL Varsity Hockey Championship. Matthew, so far through the first two, what have you seen and what do you like from both sides?
So starting off with DRS, Josh and I were actually just talking about it off the air, but this Pokris and Ritter line has been the best forward line by DRS. I think that TABC was so focused on trying to shut down Greenbaum and Aryeh that they might have overlooked that line of Pokris and Ritter. But TABC, they've been getting a lot of chances. They just haven't been able to finish. I mean, Fields and Krause have been very good. They've had a lot of good chances. They just can't find a way to get the puck or get the ball on net.
Yeah, and so have Ben Sion Kaiser and Aiden Rousman. They've both also been spectacular.
Kaiser has been very physical. Not like hitting per se, just like using his body, getting in the right place, the right time. A very good, strong, smart power forward is what Ben Sion Kaiser is.
Well, not that we haven't seen the best from both teams already, but this is where it's all going to come down to which team can execute their game plan better. And I know that sounds a little bit obvious, but specifically referring to the way and the style that these two teams like to play. DRS talked about before the game is a defensive machine. They know how to shut games down, and they know how to shut teams down, and they know how to close games out. TABC, though, knows how to score goals in absolute bunches, so they haven't had the actual stats to back up the chances, but the chances have been there. Would you say that if you're TABC, it's just a matter of time until they get one, or do you think that DRS maybe drops into more of a defensive style play a little bit sooner just to ensure that, you know, maybe even if they take their foot off the gas a little bit offensively, that TABC can't get their full offensive game going?
I think you will be seeing the Wildcats in protect mode right now during these 12 minutes. But if you're Mo Fuchs, what are you saying to the guys right now?
Look, if you're the seniors right now, because this is not a senior-heavy team, but the ones that are on the team have gotten heavy minutes. You know, you're looking at Matas Krause, you're looking at Shea Fields, Ezra Alter, Ari Herman. You know, they've all seen adequate time. You know, it's, you know, this is your last game, and not to say that for the juniors. You know, I mean, it's the seniors' last game ever. Not to say the juniors don't have any, you know, anything to play after this, because this is the last game for both teams. But juniors have another year. And, you know, I think that their better line in this game, though, has been Fields and Krause. And interestingly enough, starting with Kaiser and Rousman on the opening faceoff of the third period as it's won out by DRS and cleared back in by TABC. Rousman and Kaiser cycling behind the goal, dropping a third guy in already. That's not something we've seen yet. Brothman taking the cut to the net for the Storm as Rousman bodies down Frankel. Kaiser looking to get it towards the goal, looking to shoot, blocked by Frankel. Kaiser got it in front, looking to cover was Austin. Lawrence might have actually impeded his stick from being able to reach out and pull it back in, and as a result, play keeps going.
Lawrence got in the way there. Just disrupted everything that they had going right there for offensively.
Greenbaum for Aryeh in front. Looks like they're going to call it an offside, or no, it looked like a hand pass. High stick, excuse me. Aryeh Simon, the backhand clear, just ended up out of the zone, or out of play, excuse me. Well, you know, making me wonder with that first shift, not to say that Kaiser and Rousman have not been effective, but, you know, if Mo Fuchs maybe played that line as a matchup just to get Lawrence and Frankel off of Krause and Fields, who are on now with Bornstein and Kahn again on defense, but that Pokris-Ritter line is back on the floor for DRS.
Yeah.
It is an offside touched by Pokris. I don't think DRS thought it was. Pokris arguing, but he didn't see it, and his coach, Larry Gross, ensuring him that the call was correct.
The puck came out.
Looks like the referees are not sure whether or not it was deemed offside, or rather, the clock issue, excuse me. Looked like they were disputing where the faceoff should go, and they're going to run some time off the clock to 11:04. The clock was stuck at, I believe, 11:12 there. Fields and Krause in a deeper zone faceoff. Good play there by Max Pockers to alter the opportunity as the ball popped out of play on the clear. It will come into the TABC zone.
As both crowds are getting into it.
Yeah, we'll see if that becomes a factor.
Yeah.
Down the stretch towards the end of this game. As Fields didn't win it forward. It looked like Izikovic got knocked down from behind. However, both players went down. No call as Khan keeps it in with his hand. Keeps it in with his hand again. Izikovic whacking it off the boards, not allowing Ritter to put it in. Good play by Izikovic there. Ritter stopped him from getting it out. They are doubling Izikovic on the corner, or on the board right in front of the DRS bench. Pockers comes out with it. It was whacked back
Good
by
physical
Moskov.
battle.
Yeah, this is it, both sides. And DRS is content with this as Pockers takes control of the ball, takes it around the net, has a cutter in Bornstein, looking to feed it there, shoots, and that one goes wide. Deflected out of play off the stick of Ben Ritter with Izikovic trying to clear, but already 1:40 off the clock in this third period. DRS, obviously, you know, we're not saying that they're not going to look to try to score goals and create opportunities, but they're content as long as the ball's in their zone and they have possession, not necessarily trying to run the score up on TABC right now. It's Kaiser and Rausman back on against the Khan and Bornstein defensive line. Ritter and Pockers still out there now. Simon's shot deflected out of play, and I think it hit the foot of a TABC player. It looks like they're going to say DRS.
It hit Pockers' foot.
Looks like the faceoff is going to come deep into the zone instead of high. And we see Brothman and Simon back on the back on defense for TABC. I mean, it's been a while, even since towards the end of the second period, where either team really had any quality opportunities, other than, I would say, the shift right after the goal by DRS and Pockers, and you had that beautiful cross-court pass from Fields to Kraus and the toe drag right after. Really not a lot of opportunities, showing to great credit how both teams' defenses have played in this game. But TABC needs to get this offense going. As Rausman's shot was blocked, gets the rebound off, and that shot's blocked by Frankel. Deflected out of play, though, so it's going to stay in the DRS zone. Coming deep as Frankel will take the face-off against Rausman. Brothman and Simon waiting for it at the point. Ariel Mayer able to clear the ball for DRS. Rogoff with that long reach hard on the forecheck. It was Ariel Rogoff in the JV championship who scored the game winner with that long reach. Here's a shot, Austin. I don't think it got through.
It did not.
It looked like it was blocked by Lawrence in front. Good keep there by Simon. Kaiser trying to use his body. So is Frankel. It comes out in front. And Frankel with a dangerous play there. Didn't exactly try to get it right out. Tried to handle it down. Rausman was right behind him. Could have potentially picked his pocket wide open in front. Similar to how Pockers scored the goal for DRS in the second, as the ball is being fought for in the corner by, looks like, Brothman and Mayer. As Kaiser will get it up ahead. Rausman shoots, and he just missed wide. That was a wicked wrist shot.
Quick turnaround.
Yeah, I don't think Austin was ready for a shot there.
He was not.
At the ring. Here's Simon. His shot deflected up. Kaiser trying to play it up. It comes back for Brothman. Touch to the head, and Rausman is offside, and he knew it. Very, very close there, but Aiden Rausman just a hair too quick to bring up the ball with a clear path. 9:07 to go in the third period, still 1-0 DRS as Uden and Katz are on the floor for the Wildcats. Still Bornstein and Kahn for DRS on defense. As Kraus and Fields, no call there as two players went down as Kraus looks to cycle it behind for Fields. Ellis Bornstein trying to get in the way. Bornstein wins the battle there. Lost his stick, had it knocked away by Fields. Kahn uses his body, protects the ball, gets a shot off. It just missed wide. I don't think Forgash was ready for that one either.
No.
Clear one off the back of the net and got blocked. Here's Uden looking to curl. Forgash did not have to face the shot. Uden just missed wide. I think DRS thought that one went in. It hit the back of the net, but behind the net.
Yeah.
Good keep by Zach Rothschild. Getting it in towards the front. Blocked in front by Micha Khan. Katz, fresh legs out there. He's taking it into the corner looking to operate. Looks like they want to call.
Katz just outran, what's his face?
Zach Rothschild.
Rothschild. Sorry, I couldn't see there.
Moskoff on Uden. Uden looking to curl.
Uden's doing a good job battling there.
Austin was way far out of his net there. Stuck it aside, but almost didn't get there as Pornstein kept it ahead there by Moskoff. 2 players go down. No call there.
Just a
Kraus looking
collision.
to cycle it for a shot by Khan that just goes wide. Cats kick
Very
it into
physical.
the corner. Yeah, it is turning up, and you can see it looks like DRS is shifting back into a 1-2-1. Micha Khan is playing back as he sent the ball straight out into the boarded off area by the away team's locker room. 7:41 left in this third period, and slowly the clock melting away on what, as of now, is the TABC Storm's varsity season. Kaiser and Rausman back on. Greenbaum and Aryeh, the offense out there for DRS, with Lawrence and Frankel on the back end for TABC, as Aryeh wins that ball straight in ahead. Jonathan Brothman into the corner there with Greenbaum and Aryeh both on him. Aryeh wins the battle on Aryeh Simon. A penalty's being called. It looks like it's going to be against DRS. And it is.
Yeah!
Jack Greenbaum getting called for interference.
DRS is furious right now with that call.
Wow.
This could be a huge break for the Storm.
It could be. I mean, that happened in the far corner where we can't see, so I didn't have a clear vision of it.
Neither could I.
He is pleading his case to the referees. It doesn't seem as if Larry Gross is as furious as Greenbaum is. However, now he's going to plead his case to Noam Insler for why the call was made. He had a better vantage point than I did, that's for sure. As the goaltenders taking a quick rest here with a little bit of an extended stoppage in play. TABC with an opportunity to tie this game on the power play. Only the 3rd penalty of the game. Storm power play looked good in the first period. We'll see if they can capitalize and net the equalizer as Micha Khan digs in for the faceoff against Kaiser. Kraus takes control, tip just wide.
He was looking backdoor to Fields.
I don't know if Fields got an opportunity there. Fields looking to get it through for Kraus. He does. Behind the goal. Looked in front. Kaiser around. He's bodied on by Khan there. Wants a call, not going to get it. Kaiser controlling, not being given a lot of pressure. Khan. Here's Rausman for Kraus, and a shot was stopped by Austin. Didn't get a lot on that.
Fields tried to get his stick on that.
And it comes out of the zone. Here's Moshe Aryeh. Will tap it ahead slowly for Matas Kraus. Kraus all the way across, played with a hand by Fields and knocked all the way down by DRS. I believe the penalty came at the 7:25 mark. Here's Kraus getting it across, but broken up by Lawrence, sends it high, gets a wicked bounce off of the back wall behind the net, and now Kraus from Rausman will work his way in. Kraus being left off, and that one blocked, a hand pass as of now to be the call. Micha Khan batted it ahead with his hand. 10 seconds left on the power play. Here's Kaiser for Kraus, looking to get it through the shot. It's stuck in the blocker of Austin. What a save.
19 seconds left on the power play, by the way.
19, excuse me, I was calling it as 15. My apologies, thank you. That ball was labeled for the top left corner. I don't think Austin saw it with the screen of Kaiser in front. But fortunately, while it was on his blocker's side, it got lodged between his blocker and his arm, where it just juts out a little bit over the sleeve. And that's how he kept the ball from coming loose.
Surprised Kraus isn't out there right now.
Face off one back. Simon gets it through. Backed out by Lawrence. Good keep. Here's Rausman. He shoots, and it just went wide.
I think that hit off of a DRS guy.
Kaiser with control. Got it out in front. Simon looking to get to it. Rausman couldn't keep it in. 6:01 left. 5 seconds left on the penalty. The ball popped out of play.
With 2 seconds left on the power play. As the two teams switch sides.
Goaltenders will switch sides for the time being. We have just eclipsed the halfway mark of the third period, and Daniel Austin has been the best penalty killer out there for the DRS Wildcats on this one, because TABC, with a plethora of opportunities right there, in the DRS zone on the man advantage. They're still going to be on the power play for about another second or two. But Greenbaum getting ready to come out. Moshe Aryeh is ready to, as that one cleared straight out, and it's going to go back deep in the the TABC zone.
As Greenbaum comes back on.
Great kill by the DRS Wildcats. And again, TABC's power play getting the opportunities, which is not something that they got in the game earlier on in the year in DRS. As Greenbaum straight into a corner. This is where, if I'm DRS, I might start taking my foot off the gas on offense, looking for chances, and maybe just possess the ball a little bit more. As Moshe Aryeh, you can see, had the opportunity to curl there, but didn't take it. Content with killing time as Brothman shoots it into the corner. Akiva Mattel and Ari Herman on for the first time in this period. Akiva Mattel working with it behind the goal. Looks like TABC going for a little bit more speed to try and match. Mattel shoots and that one's blocked. And the rebound cleared out. You can see TABC started the period dropping 3 in, but they're not anymore as Aryeh picks it off. Got it up ahead. Greenbaum able to cut him off there as Brothman with a nice high clear out of the zone, giving Mattel and Herman time to run under it as 2 men in on the forecheck against Micha Khan there for Khan there for DRS. Looks like Khan just hopped on top of the ball with his hand. Great play to punch it ahead. That is 100% legal, but the clear came out of the zone by Spector and out of play. And as a result, a deep zone face-off in the DRS zone. Smart play by Micha Khan to punch it out with his hand after losing the stick, though, with 2 guys on him.
That was good work by Mattel and Herman. I mean, yeah, it's been their lone shift, but they definitely brought some energy there, as we see Krause and Fields now.
Well, this is it for TABC. The last 5 minutes as we have 4:59 left on the clock here in what is now TABC's season, or what could be TABC's season, as Krause able to win it ahead with his foot but couldn't get there. It looks like Lawrence might have got in the way there. No call made, so we play on as Fields and Krause. Krause took the brunt of that one. A clear as it came into the middle. Picked off in front by Simon. Couldn't get it to go. Or was that Brothman?
It was Simon.
Here's Krause, handles it down. The ball got poked in. They've got an opportunity for a shot. They take it. Austin way out to challenge. Frankel knocked down Fields. Maybe a bit of a flop there on Fields' end, but no call there. I don't think that. It didn't look like Frankel went out there and hit Fields.
No.
Certainly not to the point where he should have gone flying, but
nice sell job by Fields, though.
A little bit on the less serious side of things, I was actually speaking to a former Frisch player. His name is Aryeh Levinson, who was on the varsity championship team for Frisch 2 years ago. He drew a penalty and admitted after the game he had flopped. He said flopping is an art. And
knowing Aryeh Levinson, I can tell you he is a big-time flopper.
But back to this game.
All the way going back to middle school when he played for my dad.
As we have Kaiser and Rausman back on for TABC. Aryeh Isakovitz and Ethan Moskoff, the defensive pairing, and this Ritter-Pokris line is back on the floor for DRS in a time where they need possession more than anything. I think this has been the best line in terms of the line that's been able to create possession and opportunity for DRS. As you see Ritter's just standing there taking his sweet time. And for DRS, it is sweet time. Not as much for TABC right now as Ritter spins off of Aryeh Isakovitz in the corner. They put a hand on him, and Ritter, a high stick there by Khan, waiting for TABC to touch it. Nice move by Rausman, a shot, and that one blocked made.
That was a high stick and a half.
Rebound, a shot, and a backhander on Rausman was stopped by Austin, and another penalty it looks like. Or no penalty calling. That was the fans calling for it.
DRS fans fuming.
Both the sticks from Khan and Rausman went flying there as Moskoff in a battle with Pokris as we are approaching 3.5 minutes left in this game. Khan with the backhand, couldn't clear it out, but it was touched with a hand, and because TABC touched it, that negates the hand pass. As Isakovitz, a laser caught by Austin. And there we see for the first time today an opportunity for a shot and a windup by Aryeh Isakovitz. We talked about it. He probably has the best shot on this Storm team. Do not want to give him that opportunity, even from beyond half court. But Daniel Austin keeping his composure and able to snag it for the stoppage in play. 3:25 left in this game. As it stands right now, as Krause wins it back towards the front. Krause! Oh, what a save, Austin! Rebound, scored, no!
Wow, they waved that off?
They waved it off.
Wow!
Kraus had the whole net.
I thought that went in.
I said rebound scored. Kraus put his hand up, and when Insler initially pointed at the net, Insler, the referee with the pants on, pointed at the net. I thought he was pointing at the net. He was pointing to the opposite side where the faceoff was going to be dropped. So my apologies there, as Kraus will take the faceoff. That opportunity very similar to when Aiden Rousman missed the net just in the beginning of the game as Simon gets that ball in deep. Looks like TABC might have gotten away with a hand down there as that high clear hit the basketball hoop, flipped all the way up.
I think you see a combination of Kraus and Fields and Rousman and Kaiser the rest of the way.
Very, very likely. TABC looking for the equalizer, just 3:11 left in the game. Keep in mind, TABC does still have a timeout they can use in this period. It's going to be interesting to see as Simon did not keep that one. DRS gets it into the zone, and you could see already they're not double teaming the forecheck the forecheck for DRS not double teaming the defenseman down there. They're sending one to the corner, and you see, watch where Eitan Katz is going. He's going either to the front or away as Uden takes possession away from Simon in the corner. Looks like the ball is still in the corner, even though the boards are separated. Kraus dropping in all the way from the point, using his body there, trying to help pry the ball loose. But what a job by DRS's forwards keeping it there.
Uden did a great job of killing the nice 15
Uden
seconds.
curls out, kick save Forgash. Rebound is corralled by Katz. He'll take his time around the net with it. Spins off of R.E.A. Simon. Big hit there. That is going to be a penalty. R.E.A. Simon and Katz. Oh, Katz is going to get one too, it looks like.
Yeah.
Well, penalties. We were talking about how there were no.
Ooh, he's getting tossed.
I do not know what is happening here. From what we could see, that was clear. R.E.A. Simon, it looked like, was about to get a cross-check penalty or a boarding penalty, something in the corner for taking down Eitan Katz. That looked clear. As Katz got up, though, you saw him step over R.E.A. Simon, though, and although he didn't make contact with him, gave a little spirited answer back, it seemed, got it in his face, and I believe while Keith Ryan did not call that, Noam Insler was still the ref down low, separating players, called him for, I believe, unsportsmanlike. There was no physical contact made, so that's the only call I could picture him making. And then after that, it looked like Shea Fields stepped off the TABC bench into the mix in defense of his teammates. So, at least to my assumption, DRS is either going to be put on the power play here, or we're just going to see an even loss of manpower on both sides. Shea Fields giving Daniela Austin a hug as he walks off the floor, escorted by Mo Fuchs. And I believe that's Rabbi Josh Kahn for TABC, who will go and just make sure everything is okay with him.
Talk him.
Yeah, I mean, there was no malicious intent by any means there. It was stepping in for a teammate, and he didn't do anything physical. He
just stepped over the boards. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that. Mo is getting an explanation of the calls by Noam Insler, and as I said, it looks like it's either going to be DRS on the power play or an equal loss of manpower on the floor for both teams. Well, with 2:22 left in this game, I mean, if DRS is in fact up a man here, 1:30 are how long the penalties go for. And I'm not sure if Shea Fields was either ejected or given a misconduct or a major, but he has left he has been asked to exit the TABC bench, and it looks like DRS is going to end up with a power play here, as you see Pockrass, Kahn, Lawrence, and Ritter out there. And there is the adjustment again. I said earlier when DRS had their first power play that Bornstein was in the Ritter spot, but Ritter's back on here. With 2:22 to go, I mean, that could be
It's 4-on-2.
It is a 4-on-2, so maybe DRS goes for the insurance tally here, but if I were DRS, I would focus on just keeping everything down low behind the goal line.
Cycling the puck.
Yeah, and look, if they have the opportunity, they're going to take it. Ritter looking to get it across Lawrence. Brothman testing Austin with a long-range shot, but a save there. Clock might have ran for a couple extra seconds after the whistle, but one way or another, the penalty came, I believe, at the 2:22 mark in the third period, or left in the third period. So if that is correct, there will only be 52 seconds left as Rausman went down, and then he just gave a shove back to Kahn. There was no call there as it got dumped in deep, but hit the top of the boards. And you could see Shia Forgash talking to Aiden Rausman, telling him, we can't have that right now. I think he knows he got away with that one.
Yeah.
You know, you're down.
Rausman did. I mean, that was just a shove that was out of pure frustration, anger about what has gone on over the past 60 seconds.
Shot by Kahn goes wide of the net. Forgash gloves it. 1:49 left to go. So anyway, as I go back to the map that we were trying to do before that whole sequence, I believe that the penalty is going to expire with 52 seconds left on the clock. What a move by Brothman. Got taken down from behind, although I think he went down on his own. Not sure if he was either trying to sell it or if that was desperation diving for the ball, but it looks like we have a timeout by DRS. 1:42 left in the game, and slowly, I mean, I think this third period has been the slowest progressing period of the three we've had so far. But still a great overall game. And a setting like this, while it's not identical to that of what happened in the semifinal game between DRS and Frisch, very similar, where Frisch took a late penalty for delay of game, or excuse me, not delay of game, too many men on the floor with 1:37 left in the game. So the clock wound down until the last 7 seconds, and then it was even strength because DRS just tried to play possession game there and not risk getting the ball up to the point where it could possibly be taken away, which has surprised me a little bit here, considering, you know, we were both under the assumption they would probably just cycle and kill time here, as you mentioned. And then you see that cross pass out to Lawrence on the left and Kahn on, or excuse me, Lawrence on the right and Kahn on the left. Both times, Jonathan Brothman picking it off and going the other way with chances for TABC.
Yeah.
It looks like the penalty for Shea Fields is being served by Matis Kraus, while Aryeh Simon, I believe, is going to come out of the box at the same time. 1:42 remaining in the game, though, after the timeout. I don't think that, well, actually, I shouldn't say I don't think that. What are the odds that we would like to think TABC might pull the goalie if they can get through this penalty kill cleanly?
I think it's high. Very. Very.
Pokris had the board get in his way there, but they enter successfully. Here's Kahn down low for Ritter. Smart play, just send it down low. You have the two-man advantage. Let your forwards get control of it as Pokris
Cycle the puck.
in front for Ritter.
What a save!
Forgash. Rausman able to knife it ahead. Here he goes. Shot out of the cannon into the corner. Put the body on Lawrence.
Forgash just read that incredibly well.
Nothing over the top as Brothman couldn't get it, and it looked like it was touched by DRS for an offside. That right there, very smart play, prevented TABC from a potential 2-on-1 rush the other way.
It was a very good read. Just saved. Shia Forgash just saved the game.
Face-off was shot right out of the zone by Rausman, although I'm not sure the ball hit the floor, so they just might redo it. 20 seconds left on the power play for DRS. As you can see, Matis Kraus with a foot already on the short bench where the penalty box is, getting ready to come out as Ritter lost the ball. Rausman picks it off and goes the other way. Shoots low and a stick save made by Austin. Lawrence will clear it high and into the into the TABC zone. There was only one man down there. That was Brothman for TABC. They wanted and Ritter spun out of the corner. I'm not sure if they wanted a call or if Ritter just made a move. Ritter knocks Rausman to the floor. Nothing there. A curl shot.
Good save. He was just there. Forgash was just there.
And you could see that now Kraus and Simon are out of the box for TABC with 47.1 seconds left. No more Shea Fields it seems at the very least for regulation now, Kraus, Simon, and Kaiser will get the call. So everyone new onto the floor for the time being, except for Brofman, who's been out there this entire penalty kill and now passed it. And it makes me wonder if TABC is going to take a timeout. 47.1, Keith.
Keith Ryan is furious at Mo Fuchs, and he is making TABC call timeout.
Yeah, initially I thought that he actually called TABC for a delay of game, and that Mo had...
He is charging TABC with their timeout.
Yeah, you know what? I know Mo Fuchs may not have intended to take it there, but you know what? I would rather that than the delay of game at this point.
Me too. Because now you can actually pull, if Mo Fuchs is going to pull shy of Forgash, he can now actually do it once the puck gets out of the zone.
What would you be telling your players if you're DRS here?
Just tight. Don't give TABC an inch. Who do they send out there? Is it going to be Aryeh Greenbaum?
Yeah,
that line, and then Khan and what's his face?
Khan and it looks like Bornstein.
Bornstein?
Or Lawrence. No, Lawrence is out there. You can see he's got the C on his jersey. The captain, he is bringing the rest of his teammates on the floor with him in for a quick huddle there, helping them focus and get in the zone for this last 47.1 second push that TABC is about to bring upon DRS. And with that being said, probably some strategic planning here by TABC just in case they do in fact pull the goalie. I think the most important thing I would probably be telling my players if I were DRS in that situation is, though, if TABC does in fact pull the goalie, and we know that they practice a setup, that you don't play for the empty net goal. You play the game. If the ball goes in, it goes in. Greenbaum and Aryeh killing time in the corner. Ball popped off the side. Aryeh will take it back into the corner. Kraus is in on defense. Brofman moved up to offense with Aiden Rausman. Ball ended up out of play in the corner between the boards, and with 28.7
they just killed out 20
left,
seconds.
That is exactly what DRS is all about, and you can see Ben-Sion Kaiser is being asked to come on now for Aiden Rausman. My assumption would be here that Rausman's going to be the last man in if TABC pulls the goalie.
Yeah.
And that's why Mo wants him fresh, because we've seen Rausman on the point as Simon sending it down. Ben-Sion Kaiser shot out of a cannon, gets there first. No one there as here comes Forgash to the bench for TABC. Hopping on the floor, Rausman at the point. It got out of the zone. Just under 15 seconds to go. Greenbaum applying pressure. Moshe Aryeh will put the forecheck on Jonathan Brofman, and net scored! Jack Greenbaum with the dagger for DRS. It looks like 5.3 left in the game, and that should seal it. A diving effort into the empty net. As TABC, it looks like, is going to come up just a little bit short. Forgash is upset, knocking the stick from Greenbaum away. Matas Kraus, you could see the frustration on his face. And it's just a very, very unfortunate break for TABC. That deflection that came off in from the corner right in front. And for the first time since 2017, the DRS Wildcats are Yeshiva League varsity hockey champions.
DRS all around had a terrific game. TABC left it out all out on the line, but at the end of the day, DRS shut TABC down. TABC couldn't finish.
What a game.
And DRS takes the chip home for the first time in 7 years.
What a game. And by no means can you say, can you say that
wow.
TABC, by no means can we say, at least I would certainly say that, in my opinion, there is no team that lost this game. It was one team winning this game, and that was it. Both teams played equal to each other. It was back and forth the whole entire game. And with that being said, it was just a matter of one bounce, that kept the ball in the zone, which ended up being the game winner. Obviously, the empty net goal, but that doesn't happen if DRS doesn't go up 1-0, at least the way they did and the way that the game ended up playing out down the stretch.
And we were just told that Daniil Austin has actually been playing with a torn labrum in his shoulder and will be getting surgery next week, which makes this victory even more special to him. We want to send our best wishes to him and
Absolutely.
Austin.
And hopefully when that
great.
time does come, it will be a big refuah shalema. Hoping everything goes well there. As you see, this is what it's all about at the end. The handshake line, and just as a whole, both teams, nothing but respect for each other and the efforts they both gave, as both of these teams have two of the best histories in terms of hockey and what their schools have gone through ever since they both began. And when you're looking at it, like we said at the start, that whenever you get a championship game that features these two teams, these two schools, the stakes are always high and the expectations are always high and the results are nothing shy of magical. This was an incredible game by both teams, but just a big congratulations to DRS on the championship. And while you feel for TABC, nothing to be ashamed of on their side in terms of their performance.
Yeah. No, TABC left it all out on the line tonight.
Every single one of them.
Yep.
Whether they were on there for one shift, whether they were on there for the entire game. And, you talked about Daniil Austin also, the incredible game he had. The second time he has had a shutout in a championship game against TABC, and Shia Forgash was nothing shy of spectacular as well. He did not give up the empty net goal, obviously. He was outstanding. And I think while maybe Daniil Austin faced more of the opportunities as a whole, that Forgash had to make some of the tougher saves there.
Yeah, especially down the stretch. On that two-man advantage, yeah.
He was absolutely incredible for TABC. And knowing that this TABC team is dominated by a junior class, not to say that the seniors weren't impactful, but they have a very bright future.
Next year's looking
year on the
very high
level.
looking very good for this team.
Expectations will be high. It was last year's JV team that will be next year's varsity team at TABC, and they went 10-0 with a perfect season and a championship. As you could see, the trophy being passed off between the DRS players, as Seth Gordon, the commissioner, announcing them champions.
Yeah.
TABC and their players slowly heading back to their locker room as the fans storm the court with a second left on the clock. Yeah. But with that being said, I mean, this was an incredible game, and it was just a matter of really that one bounce. It wasn't to the point where both teams were able to really expose weaknesses, against their opponents. That did not happen in this game, and it was just an all-around incredible game. I know I've said that so many times already, but yeah. I mean, I am without words to say anything else because it was nothing shy of incredible.
Yeah, I mean, just amazing.
We're going to look to get a post-game interview, but for now, we're going to take a very quick commercial break. Stay right with us here on the Yeshiva Sports Network. We will be back right after this.
I need to run right now because I have my game's at 5 at McKay.
All right, hold on. Let me move these. Excuse me, guys.
Wait, you're gonna give him that?
Oh, do you want me to give him the mic?
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Over here?
Yeah, you can come over here. Okay, so I'm going to get Austin first.
Okay.
And I'll bring you in right after, okay? This is for you. I believe it goes the other way. All right, I am back here with Daniel Austin, who for the second time in his Yeshiva career has won a championship and the championship MVP. 2 years ago, we watched the exact same picture unfold. Daniel, what is this one like now that it's your senior year, your final game? Does it mean that much more to you?
Yeah, it's crazy. Just we've been playing. First year was COVID, so we had 3 full years, and it's just crazy it's over, and this is a great way to end it.
You know, your dad just came over to us after the game had ended, and he mentioned you were having surgery coming up very soon. Can I ask, does that make it any more impactful for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been waiting like 2 years to have this surgery, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is absolutely wild. What does it mean, this championship, your last game of the regular season, your last game of your Yeshiva League career period, you know, in Frisch, coming back into a place, and TABC played much better against you guys this time around than they did last time. But you hold it together, you go through early power play faced, late power play faced, empty net for TABC situation where they have that extra attacker, and it's the same thing. You guys just keep your composure. You lock down defensively. You knew we were talking about on the broadcast, my partner Matthew and I, about how you guys were going to shut this game down, and it starts with you and net. What can you say, beside for obviously how you feel you played, about the team about the way your team did it tonight?
Defense really locked down. We stopped them. They do the same thing every single time, and we stop them pretty much. Offense played really well. And that's our game. We just lock down. We don't score a lot of goals. We just lock down.
All right, Daniel, congratulations
Thank you.
again. Another championship MVP. Good luck, obviously, with the operation going forward.
Thank you.
And in advance, wishing you refuah shalema. And congratulations on just an incredible game and an overall career.
Thank you.
And secondly, now we have Larry Gross, the mastermind of the program behind it all at DRS. Larry, your pockets are full of these championships. JV, varsity, all together. How much does this one mean right now?
You know what? It never gets old. It's always amazing. I'm so happy for our guys. I really wanted to win this one for them because they really worked so hard this year. They practiced hard. There was achdus on this team like I've never had. So I'm super happy for them. And I just want to say one other thing, that we beat a really good hockey team. Anytime that you beat a Mo Fuchs coach hockey team, that's a good day. I mean, they are unbelievable. And for us to win, look, could have gone either way, but it didn't.
Yeah, and, you know, more than that, Daniel Austin just mentioning, you know, the way that you guys wanted to play this game defensively and how you decided to go into that shutdown mode. Obviously, wanted to have it all game, but especially in that third period, what can you say about the guys who played that role tonight, specifically on your defensive core with most of the work?
Well, listen, that's something that we do practice a lot, okay? We practice this all the time. We hope, and most of the time we expect to be up late in a game. So this is something that they were prepared for. There was no panic. There was no anything. They knew how to do it, and they did it beautifully.
One last question. We know now, as we'll get to it on the JV broadcast, that you have a JV championship coming up. How do you transition now from having, whether you won or lost, because I'm sure you've been on both sides in a doubleheader like this, but how do you transition now from the highest of highs to right back to stage one, square one, where you're going to have to do it all over again?
Thankfully, I have like an hour and a half to just get my mind cooled down and then power it back up. The guys on the JV, they worked hard. They deserve to be coached, and we will coach them. And I just want to say one other thing, if I can, to my whole family that's out there watching. I love you guys, and Evie, your Zeta loves you.
Thank you so much, Larry. Congratulations on another phenomenal season and another championship on the varsity level.
Thanks, Josh.
And with that being said, we're going to wrap it up here at Frisch for the varsity championship game. This was a thriller, down to the wire. The result a little bit different than 2 years ago between DRS and TABC, but DRS prevailing once again. And now they have evened the overall series in championship games faced against each other at 2 games won apiece. But for the final time signing off today, my name is Josh Cass, and I'm saying so long here from Frisch. Have a great rest.